Hello students. So in the last class we have seen the detailed intro of this chapter named the question of trust. A question of trust. So main character was Horace Danby and he thought to be an honest citizen. He thought to be an honest citizen, but whether he was really honest or not we will see in this chapter later on. So what we have seen, what information we have gathered from this chapter, that he often suffers from hay fever. Otherwise his health is good, and he has a special attachment for books, and no wonder that he always stole things money just for the sake that he could buy some different kind of books. Okay, so we have read up to this much, and since last few days he is keeping his keen eyes over a particular house. When he saw that the maid or the servants they went for a movie, then he decided to enter the house, and he saw a dog over there. He gave love to him, and so on. Let us see further. There were about 15,000 pounds. You have to read from there where I have clicked. There were about 15,000 pounds worth of jewels in the garage safe. Okay. If he sold them one by one, he expected to get at least 5,000, enough to make him happy for another year. There were 3 very interesting books coming up for sale this autumn. Means he thought that if he stole that jewelry, then he need not to work hard for the next whole year. And apart from that, the main point was that he wanted to buy new books, interesting books, and 3 interesting books were coming up for the sale in the autumn. So this was his mindset, that when he will get the money, he will do such and such things. Now he would get the money, he wanted to buy them. Now he has seen the housekeeper hang the key to the kitchen door on a hook outside. He put on a pair of gloves. Please mention this, put on a pair of gloves, because this glove will play a vital role for them. Took the key and opened the door, not to leave any fingerprints. A small dog was lying in the kitchen. It stirred, made a noise, and moved its tail in a friendly way. All right, Sherry, Horace said as he passed. All you had to do to keep dogs quiet was to call them by their right name and show them some love. The safe was in the drawing room behind a rather poor painting. Horace wondered for a moment whether he should collect pictures instead of book, but they took up too much room. I have explained this, that earlier he thought that it will be better if I will take some picture. Then he thought that no, it will take a lot of space in my room and I don't have, so it will be better if I'll buy book from this money. The safe was not going to be hard to open. After all, he had lived with locks and safes all his life. So his main profession was to make key and lock. So getting to open any lock, it was not very hard for him. He came back and sneezed loudly as the smell of the flower came to him. Means I have already stated this to you that he is having allergy with flowers, perhaps. That's why whenever he came across the flower, he sneezed aloud. And what happened? When he entered, someone intruded. But Horace found that the flowers were hindering him in his work. He buried his face in his handkerchief. Then he heard a voice say from doorway, "What is it? A cold or a hay fever?" Means he was doing his job. He was all alone. He thought that it will better if I'll open the safe. But suddenly he heard someone's voice. Someone asked him that what is this? Why you are sneezing? Is it normal reaction, cold, cough, or hay fever? Just imagine the situation of this person. Suppose you went to kitchen to take biscuit or any type of, and at that time only your mother arrived. That is permissible. Why? Because we never feel very different in front of our mother. But suppose you are doing some theft and at the same time someone caught you. Very embarrassing. At least for the next 10 minutes, he'll become blank, unable to understand what to do, how to do. So before he could think, Horace said, "Hay fever," and found himself sneezing again. So he gave the answer that I'm suffering from hay fever, that's why I'm sneezing again and again. The voice went on. You can cure it with a special treatment. If you find out just what plant gives you the disease, I think you'd better see a doctor. If you are serious about your work, I heard you from the top of the house just now. It means that he thought that no one will be there, but whether she's a lady or whether the person calling he or she will see further. But in this chapter, we got the introduction that someone else is also there. It was quiet, kindly voice, but one with firmness in it. It's very sweet, but firmness means yes, determined. A woman was standing in the doorway. Means the extra person was none other than the woman. The woman was standing in the doorway, and Sherry was rubbing against her. She was young, quite pretty, and was dressed in red. She walked to the fireplace and straightened the ornament there. Okay, so she came down and said, "Down, Sherry," she said. "Anyone would think I would been away for a month." She smiled at Horace and went on. "However, I came back just in time, though I didn't expect to meet a burglar." Means she said that I was out for a month and the moment I arrived, I never expected कि मेरे घर पे कोई चोर होगा या कोई घुस जाएगा. And see, यू कुड हैव अंडरस्टूड दिस. ये तुम्हें आराम से अभी समझ में आ गया होगा कि अगर वो घर की मालकिन होती या घर से रिलेटेड होती तो डेफिनेटली वो शाउट करती, चीखती, पुलिस को बोलती, किसी को भी बोलती. बट इतने प्यार से तो नहीं जज करती या इतना ट्रीट नहीं करती. बट वॉट शी इज़ डूइंग, शी इज़ ट्रीटिंग हिम वेरी वेल, हाँ, विथ कंप्लीट अटेंशन एंड आस्किंग दैट वॉट इज़ दिस, वाई यू आर स्नीजिंग. सो शी इज शोइंग सम अफेक्शन. मतलब कुछ ना कुछ तो गोलमाल है. Horace had some hope because she seemed to be amused at meeting him. It means Horace thought that okay, at least I'm safe now because she is not that much serious. Okay. He might avoid trouble if he treated her right the way. He replied, "I didn't expect to meet one of the family." Now he said that I never expected that family member will come over here. Horace said, "My first thought was to run." Oh, sorry, before that she nodded. "I see what an inconvenience it is for you to meet me. What are you going to do?" Then Horace said, "My first thought was to run." He said it that my first thought when I saw you that yes, someone is from family over here. So the very first thought that came to me was that I should run away. Of course, you could do that, but I would telephone the police and tell them all about you. They would get you at once. So she threatened him that I may call the police and whatever will happen next, that will be your liability. Horace said, "I would, of course, cut the telephone wires first," and then he hesitated, a smile over his face. Just imagine, can you think that a thief, he is conversing with the lady or owner of the house and he is laughing, smiling, and he is just amusing that I have cut the telephone wire, how you could call anyone. So don't you think that he is bit relaxed that she is not going to harm me? She looked at him seriously. "You would hurt me?" Horace paused and they said, "I think I was trying to frighten you when I said that." So this is the light conversation that is going between them. "You didn't frighten me." Horace suggested, "It would be nice if you would forget you ever saw me. Let me go." Now he come on his back foot. He said that I'll be very thankful to you if you will forget everything. You never saw me. I never saw you. We don't know what is happening. And at the same time, please let me go. I don't want to stay here because I have been already caught. Horace smiled. "I'm not a man who threatens society. I steal only from those who have a lot of money. I steal for very good reason and I hate the thought of prison." He said that I don't want to go to prison. I stole for a very good reason, that is to read books, to collect books. That's why he is just justifying himself. Before this, I want to put one question to you and rather ask one question to you. That suppose, just imagine, okay, that you are not having proper book with you and you wanted to read something and you went to library and you saw a book over there, what you will do? Whether you will keep that book without stating other one, and can you justify this with the statement that madam, when I'll read this book I'll become knowledgeable and then I'll return. So it is not, you cannot say that I have stolen it. Suppose you need to solve any question and you are not getting the book, and suddenly you found that book, you solved it, you returned it or not, that is another, but you solved it without the permission of the owner. What do you think? Is it good manner or bad manner? Text me. Anyways, so he is just justifying himself. How he is justifying? He is justifying that whatever I am doing, it is only for a good reason. That the good reason is this: he loves to buy several books. She was silent, watching him closely. Then she said, "You are really afraid of going to prison, aren't you? Aren't you?" She came over to him, shaking her head. "I have always liked the wrong kind of people." It is enough to understand that she is not the owner of the house. Otherwise, doing a lot of chit chat to a thief who entered your house is hard to digest. She picked up a silver box from the table and took a cigarette from it. Wow. Horace, eager to please her and seeing that she might help him, took off his gloves and gave her his cigarette lighter. Means he just wanted that he don't want to invite any type of trouble. So what he did, he suddenly offered his lighter so that she could lit her cigarette. "You will let me go?" He held the lighter towards her. Means मेरे को जाने दोगे ना lighter दिखाते हुए? "Yes, but only if you'll do something for me." And what he said, अब मरता क्या न कहता, "Anything you say." तो she said, वो क्या शर्त रखी है कि क्यों मैं तुम्हें कब जाने दूंगी? See this point. What reason she is giving? "Before we went for London, I promised my husband to take my jewels to the bank, but I left them here in the safe. I wanted to wear them to a party tonight, so I came down to get them. But," means the entire attention is towards the jewelry. "But," Horace smiled, "you have forgotten the number to open the safe, haven't you?" And he thought she might have forgotten the number. She is not able to open. So he smiled and said this. And the lady said, "Yes. Just leave it to me and you'll have them within an hour. But I'll have to break your cell." Then the lady said, "Don't worry about that. My husband won't be here for a month and I'll have a safe mended by that time." So she consoled him that when my husband will come back, after that time I'll mend it, make it proper. Need not to worry. Just what you have to do, you have to simply open that lock for me because I have now forgotten the number. Don't you think it's very weird that it is her house, her safe, and she forgot the number in 1 month only? And what Horace did, he put off his gloves. Okay, he put off his gloves and he said that, "Okay, madam, it's not a very big deal for me. Just give me 1 hour, and I'll give this to you." And within an hour, Horace had opened the safe, given her the jewels, and gone happily away. Means this all work were done, settled down. For 2 days he kept his promise to the kind young lady. On the morning of the third day, however, he thought of the book he wanted and he knew he would have to look for another safe. But he never got the chance to begin his plan. By noon, a policeman had just arrested him for the jewel robbery at Shotover Grange. Means what happened? For the next few days, he thought that I need to read that book, and for that thing, what I have to do, I have to look for some other house. But at the meantime, what happened? Police came on the third day and arrested him on the charge of doing theft, doing jewel robbery, where Shotover Grange. His fingerprints for he had opened the safe without gloves. Now I have said now gloves will play a vital role. So what happened? It was his fingerprint. Where his fingerprint were there all over the room, and no one believed him when she said that the wife of the owner. He said continuously to the police that I didn't do that. It was the owner of the family who asked me to do such and such thing, but no one was ready to believe her. Why so? See why. And no one believed him when he said that the wife of the owner of the house had asked him to open the safe for her. The wife herself, a grey-haired, sharp-tongued woman of 60. See, The real owner, she was the age of 60 and sharp tongue and grey hair. But the lady we saw, she was young, sweet voice. So perhaps she is not the owner. Not perhaps, it is clear now from this chapter that she is not the owner. Then who is she? See, Horace is now the assistant librarian in the prison because he was caught in a charge. He often thinks of the charming, clever young lady. So, owner of the house, she was 60, and the lady who provoked him to open, she was a young lady. And always he thought of that young lady who was in the same profession. मतलब चोर के घर चोर आ गया. So she was in the same profession means she was also a thief as he was and who tricked him. He gets very angry when anyone talks about honor among thief. Means भाई उसमें भी एक वो कैसा एक स्टेटस होता है, मैं इतना चोरी कर सकता हूँ, आप चोर को चोर मिल गया. दैट यंग लेडी, इट इज़ वेरी क्लियर कि वो जो यंग लेडी थी जो पहले से उस घर में थी, जिसने बहाना बनाया कि प्लीज़ मुझे आप ये खोल दीजिए गैराज को, शी इज़ नन अदर देन द थीफ. So that's all, we have done this chapter. If you feel any problem, then say it to me, and in the next class I'll send you the question answers you need to solve, and at the same time here only you'll get some readings that what you need to read if you have time. The Confession by Chekhov, The Unexpected Eli Aitken, and A Case for the Defense by Graham Greene. Okay, these are suggested readings for you that you need to do. Talk about it. I will send you the PDF and other things, and these are question answers. I hope that I have done this chapter properly and you have understood it. If you feel any problem, text me over there. That's all for today. Thank you.